hey, if you got time, I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to read along with me, especially MAGA. I want you to read along with me what Trump's illegal immigration policy is doing to local communities and conservative states. I live in Montgomery in the state of Alabama. Conservative state run by a Democrat mayor, by President of the United States, Donald Trump, and Governor of Alabama, Kay Ivey, because they do not have a comprehensive immigration strategy or immigration plan. It's going to affect teaching jobs in the state of Alabama and in the city of Montgomery. Now let's read. They just disappeared. Alabama public schools lose 5,700 students, 2,100 unaccounted for. Alabama public schools are seeing the steepest enrollment decline in 40 years, a drop expected to cost the state 500 to 700 teaching positions next year, according to the state superintendent. About 5,000 students lost when it's all said and done. Now, this is a two-pronged problem caused by classism and racism. The classism comes from the Choose Act. Alabama passed a law that will create education savings accounts for people who want to go to private schools or people that want to go to homeschooling. Now, a tuition savings account is what it is. Most underpaid people cannot make education savings accounts. They cannot afford to go to private schools. They cannot pay the tuition. And the Choose Act helps cover some of the tuition costs. But even if the tuition was $20,000 a year and you got a $15,000 tax credit, you can't afford the $5,000 to make it up. But the people who can afford it are taking their kids and putting them in homeschools, or they're putting them in the private schools. And I want to say, I did not do the research on it, but I want to say some of the money that they're using is coming from the Department of Education funds that they trickle down to the states. Remember, Trump is trying to get rid of the Department of Education, and they're trying to funnel all the money back to the states so the states can educate their children in the manner in which the states want. Because of that, you got school choice. And because of school choice, a reported 3,000 students did not show up to public schools this year. And what about racism? Because Trump and Kay Ivey, the United States and the state of Alabama, because they are just going out arresting anybody and everybody. I want to add the Supreme Court too, because the Supreme Court said if you speak another language, if you look a certain way, if you're hanging out at Home Depot and you speak another language and look a certain way, it's okay to stereotype you. Because of that, a lot of Hispanic people, whether they're illegal or not, they are leaving the state. And because they're leaving the state, another 2,100 students are unaccounted for. We have essentially 2,100 kids that were enrolled last year that just didn't show up. They didn't transfer to a private school. They didn't go to homeschool. They didn't go to a school in another state. They just disappeared. And again, this ties all into Trump and the rich, and it all ties into racism and immigration. You got the rich getting rich because Trump gave them another $1.5 trillion in tax benefits that they stole from Medicaid, Medicare, and Obamacare. Again, $1.5 trillion. They took that out of Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. They stole it out of there to give tax breaks to the rich. They're also dismantling the Department of Education to send those funds to the states. And the states are not supporting the public school system. They're giving it to private school and people that want to homeschool. And also, because there's no comprehensive immigration plan, and because Trump has ICE and poor white men who need a job, putting them on masks and letting them go arrest every goddamn body, it has scared the Hispanic community for the most part, and they are just leaving the fucking state. And because of that, 5,000 students across the state of Alabama are not accounted for on the public school system. That's anywhere from 500 to 700 teachers that's going to lose their jobs. This is how classism and racism is expensive. Once it starts to hurt the poor white man in this country, that's when America's going to shake up. Because right now, look, I don't like the Alabama school system, the public school system. I don't like it. I think it should be better. I think teachers across the country should be paid more, but also I think they should hold everybody to a higher standard when it comes to hiring and firing teachers. I also believe that the No Child Left Behind should be just burned. If a student is not performing to the level in which they need to be performed, they should actually fail the grade and have to do it again. I'm just saying. No Child Left Behind shit. They're just pushing kids through the system and nothing is getting done and they're not learning anything. They're just going through the motions. High school diploma is written on toilet paper and they just keep going and they just keep doing what they're doing. They need to start putting back trade schools in public school. So if the kid is not book smart, he may be smart in mechanics. He may be smart in carpentry. He may be smart in agriculture. He may be smart in electrical and HVAC systems. They need to have some kind of certification program for kids who are not just book smart. But at the same time, when you have classism from the Trump administration and Governor Kay Ivey, and you have racism from Trump and Governor Kay Ivey, this is what you get. The poor is going to suffer before they do. And they're going to call it patriotism. What do you think?